For centuries, human beings have chased the dawn. From ancient spiritual traditions to modern productivity culture, there is a deeply ingrained belief that waking up early provides an unmatched mental and physical edge. Recent data supports the idea. Researchers at Harvard analyzed the sleep preferences of over 800,000 people and found that shifting your wake time just 1 hour earlier lowers the risk of major depression by 23%. For most people, a 5 a.m. wake-up feels miserable. You stumble out of bed with a foggy brain and motor skills so impaired you can barely hold your coffee. This disorientation is a specific physiological state known as sleep inertia. To capture the benefits of an early morning without the misery, you have to look inside the brain and map the exact biological sequence of waking up. A successful 5 a.m. start begins the night before, heavily relying on your circadian rhythm, your body's 24-hour internal clock. We all possess different genetic chronotypes, making us natural early birds or night owls. This internal clock uses external light cues to regulate vital functions, from your metabolism to your blood pressure. This chart shows the 10-year cardiovascular risk for individuals based on their sleep habits. Notice the drastic spike in risk for those with highly variable bedtimes, compared to the flat, stable line for consistent sleepers. Biological consistency is the non-negotiable prerequisite for an early morning. If your bedtime shifts wildly from night to night, your internal clock fractures. Let's look at what happens inside your skull at 0 hour, the exact moment the 5 a.m. alarm rings. Wakefulness propagates as a directional wave, starting in the frontal regions and sweeping back. An abrupt alarm interrupts this. Slow, deep sleep ripples collide with fast wakeful bursts, creating bistability, a state where specific neural regions glitch, rapidly alternating between asleep and awake. Compounding the problem is a severe vascular restriction. When you open your eyes, your brain operates on a reduced blood supply. It takes a full 15 minutes for cerebral blood flow to fully reach that anterior cortex. This combination of crashing brainwaves and lack of blood flow is the exact biological reason you feel like a zombie when forced awake incorrectly. Clearing that zombie state requires an external physiological trigger, dawn light hitting your eyes. This light exposure activates the cortisol awakening response, sending a necessary spike of cortisol through your system to accelerate your neural activity. Even with cortisol pumping, your brain is still fighting lingering adenosine, the chemical responsible for sleepiness. Well-timed interventions like a cold shower or coffee clear the fog by forcefully knocking away and blocking those large, sluggish adenosine particles from cellular receptors. With those receptors clear, the brain completes its awakening sequence, finally shifting into the high-frequency beta waves required for active focus. Peak cognitive performance depends on successfully triggering this specific endocrine and neurological cascade. A 5 a.m. wake-up yields its best results only when your biology aligns with early natural light to prime you for uninterrupted productivity. To do this without shocking your system, shift your alarm gradually. Move it back just 15 minutes earlier each day to allow your circadian rhythm time to adapt. This chart maps out a typical 90-minute sleep cycle. You need to prioritize 7 to 9 hours of total rest so you can target these safe wake windows at the end of a cycle, avoiding the deep, slow wave troughs altogether. Once you're awake, get immediate light exposure in your eyes to trigger that essential cortisol response. If you want more science-backed breakdowns on how to optimize your productivity, hit subscribe and join the Rise Standard community. Now, it's time to put this into practice. We challenge you to apply these biological hacks and commit to waking up at 5 a.m. for just 1 week. Drop an "I'm in" down in the comments and report back on your results.